So today we're going to get a closer look at the BlackRiver Pocket Mini Ramp. I think that's what it's called, the Pocket Ramp. So I recently just ordered this off Slush Colt's website. They sell this thing for $75. So honestly, under $100 already for a BlackRiver like mini ramp, I think is a pretty good deal. So today we're going to be going over a few specs, a few features about it, and overall, is it really worth it or not? But like I mentioned, the price point already seemed pretty reasonable. I've seen other ramps that they sell and they're about $75, which is the same price as this. Okay, so the first thing I did notice that I was a little not upset about, but I was a little surprised. It didn't come with little non-slip pads. Like I had a little piece of extra grip tape I just cut up and put on the corners right here. It didn't really slide around too much on my table, but I also didn't want my tables to get scratched. Obviously for my fingerboard tables, I really didn't care, but I had it on my dining table and I was like, you know what? I should probably put some grippy pads on here just to protect the table and so that the mini ramp wouldn't slide around as much. Also, before we start sessioning it, I do want to go over some measurement specs. So obviously you can see how small it is actually compared to me. I feel like it looks obviously a lot bigger like on a picture or a website. So this is obviously, it's pretty small when I'm actually holding it. It's pretty lightweight. It's not super heavy. It's actually pretty reasonable for what it is. It's a little bit longer than a foot. It's like a foot and a half maybe. You guys can kind of see right there. It's like not exactly 13, but it's like 12 and a half. The width is about 8 inches wide. Oh yeah, the height. What is the height? The height is like 3 inches and 3/4 right there. So I just wanted to show you guys the actual specs of the ramp. I know like even before I actually ordered it, I measured out about 13 inches, even though it's under 13 inches. I was like, okay, that's a pretty small ramp in general. So I was curious to see how tight the transition would be. The other thing I was curious about before I actually rode it was how small is the little flat bottom. Because I was a little worried about this ramp. Am I going to be like, boop, 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 boop. But when I actually got it, it does look a little bit better than I thought. I guess obviously you could tell there is metal coping on this, which is really nice. There's a tiny little top deck on here, which is kind of cool. And honestly, I mean, for the scale, it's like a micro mini ramp, but it honestly is a lot of fun. Like, it's kind of tight, as you can see. I mean, the ramp does sound good. I feel like the transition is steep enough where like you can actually do rock to fakie and disasters and lip slides and kind of combos like that. It is a little bit small though. Don't get me wrong. It does feel a little tight, but kind of in a fun way. It just feels like, you know, little mini backyard ramp. It's like, but also it's big enough for your hand to still like move around it and not get stuck in it. It's pretty chill, honestly. You can kind of, you know, you can kind of walk around it and stuff, which makes it kind of nice. Yeah, I mean, so I've had this now for a few days, and at first I wanted to say it was super tight. It took a little bit of adjustment to get used to it, but now that I've actually used it now a little bit more, it's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. The thing I do like about this mini ramp is that it is super small and you can utilize it in a few different ways. Even if you don't actually have a bump or anything, even from flat, it's not super high. So it's kind of cool. You can do grinds into it and grinds out of it. So I've been finding myself doing this kind of a lot, and it's pretty fun. It is funny because this ramp is steep enough where your trucks do hang up on it. So if you're not like super careful like with your lip tricks, you'll actually like hang up on it a little bit, which is kind of cool. It's pretty realistic in that sense. But if you do have like a little kicker ramp or something, like the little kicker ramp up to this is pretty awesome. Guys, a little better angle right here. But yeah, having the kicker ramp up to it is so chill. But yeah, there's options on this thing. Actually, we could probably wally up into it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, there's a few different ways you can actually sesh this thing. So I guess the other thing I do want to talk about is the quality on this thing. I actually do feel the quality is definitely BlackRiver quality. Everything seems really smooth and solid. All the glue, you know, like nothing seems like sketchy looking. Like everything looks so precise. Little branded logo right there. The coping is like perfect, honestly, on both sides too. Like it's perfectly set in, nothing's wrong with it. It's not sharp or anything. Even the wood is so freaking smooth, and it just sounds really good too. Obviously you guys can, I'm sure you guys have been hearing it. I feel like a DJ. The wood actually is just a really good quality. It sounds good. It feels like soft, honestly. It's like soft and smooth. It's nice. Overall, I only have good things to say about this thing. The only thing I do have the complaint about was that there are no like non-slip pads, but if you have some extra grip tape, or honestly, even if you have some duct tape, just like rip off some duct tape and just put it on the, on the bottoms, just so it has some little like texture to grip on, and also so you don't scratch your tables or whatever. Otherwise then, like, I have started using this thing like next to my computer, like also just like a nice table piece. I have it usually sitting kind of like on my coffee table, and like a little board will be sitting on it. So even if I'm just sitting like in the morning having coffee on the phone or whatever it is, I'll like hit a little quick session on it. So it is pretty fun. I know I'm complaining about, but it's really not a huge complaint. But I just wish the flat bottom was a little bit longer, because it is just really quick. Or if it was like a little bit wider would be cool. But I do feel like if it is pocket size, this is a great size. Like you can honestly throw this in a backpack, in your tote bag. You can really bring this anywhere you go. I did see a video of a guy having this in his car, and I was like, whoa, bro, that's actually pretty smart. Just like when you're on the skate session, or if you want to bust it out somewhere, it's just a good obstacle. Because usually when you bring like a flat bar around or anything else, like you have to make sure the ground's kind of nice or whatever. This, it doesn't really matter. You can just put it on your lap in session. I mean, it's pretty chill. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is pretty great. So if you don't have any fingerboard obstacles, or even if you have a ton of fingerboard obstacles, I feel like this is actually a great buy. It's one of those obstacles, anybody can really use it. Any skill level can use it. I think anybody can appreciate it. Everyone will obviously know what it is. Obviously, it's super cool. You can tag it up with stickers. You can graffiti on it. You can really customize it. I feel it'd be worth getting 2 of them and maybe even like connecting them. It'd be like a mini ramp or something. I don't know. It'd be really fun though if it was like 2 ramps big. Oh, it'd be so fresh. Or if you had 2 of them, you could do the double spine transfer. You know what I'm saying? Like, a little spinage action like that. Oh, that would be pretty fun too. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think this obstacle is pretty worth it in my opinion. Comment, let me know what you guys think about the BlackRiver mini ramp. I personally feel like it's pretty worth it. Do you guys think so, or am I just tripping?